In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a SPRUNKI mod. Now, this is actually quite simple if you follow my tutorial step by step. I'm going to show you a full guide, and then you'll be able to kinda mod SPRUNKI yourself as well. So the first thing you want to do is actually go to a website which is called itch.io. Now this is a website from where you can essentially buy and download the latest indie games. It's a very popular kind of store for most of these games that people are making and playing online, and you'll be able to find many games on there as well as SPRUNKI and the ability to mod it using this website. So the first thing you need to do is, of course, click on this website. So go to itch.io or itch.io, and then in here at the very top where it says search for games, jams, tags, or creators, you want to type in SPRUNKI. There we go. And then what you want to do is click on this one, which is over here where it says Incredibox SPRUNKI from Wolf Hall _Hall. You want to click on this, and then once you do it, once you essentially open this website over here, as you can see, you've got two options. You can either run the game inside the launcher. It's just loading slowly for me. It has colors and stuff, don't worry about it. So you can run and play the game in here inside the browser, or you can see this thing over here which says SPRUNKI open source moddable. Okay, and this is what we're looking for because this will give us the ability to actually do mods inside the game. And the way you do this is by clicking download over here, and this will, as you can see, automatically start the download of this Incredibox SPRUNKI in this weird kind of file, which is called SB3. Okay, now what you want to do next is wait for it to download, and then meanwhile, while you're doing this, you want to go to Google and type in Scratch. So this is it. I'll just pull it over here, as you can see. When you type in Scratch, you'll be able to see that this is a high-level programming language, it says. However, it's made for kind of a younger audience, and it's much easier to understand, and I'll show you how you can actually kind of modify the game in here as well yourself, because it's very simple. Now, you want to go to over here where it says Scratch MIT, which is the first website, scratch.mit.edu. You want to click on this. And then what you want to do is click over here where it says Start Creating. Just click it. And then you'll see this kind of a dashboard, which will open up for you. There we go. Now, this is essentially Scratch. If you've never seen it, no worries. I'll show you how to use it right now. But if you have, you're likely familiar with how things work in here. The first thing you want to do is go up here, up top, where it says File. And then you want to click the second option, so the middle one, which says Load from your computer. Click on this. And then you want to go inside your download folder or wherever this download has saved. So the one we've downloaded from itch.io, we want to open this inside Scratch over here. So for me, it's under downloads. It's this file, Incredibox SPRUNKI.sb3. Click on it and press open. Now it will say loading project, loading extensions, and it will start kind of loading this in. It may take just a few seconds, up to a few minutes, depending on your computer. What you want to do over here, the first thing is to close this tutorial over here, and then as you can see a bunch of this code, and it's actually the full code for this game, okay? Now, of course, we're not gonna play with this unless you know how to do it, because this over here is a bit more complex and would take probably a few hours for me to explain this to you. However, I will show you how you can modify things very easily, not even having to use these different functions in here. So the way you can actually do this, as you can see over here on the right, let me make this a bit smaller for you. There we go. Over here on the right, you can see different characters that you likely do know from the SPRUNKI game. But when you click on them, you can only see the code, and this likely really doesn't say much to you, right? However, you have three different tabs up here up top. You can click on costumes and sounds. And if you click on costumes, as you can see, I can now switch from one to, let's say, from orange to red, silver, funbot, green, etc. Okay? And you can actually change their entire appearances, and then you'll actually be able to see this inside the game itself. So that's how you can essentially make modifications or mods to this game. Over here, when you open up a specific character, so as you can see, you have different ones. You have all the buttons inside the game. You have the Mr. Fun, you have Purple, Mr. Tree, etc. So everything you can see inside the game, essentially, you can modify over here. I'm going to click on green right now just to show you a kind of as an example. Now, as you can see, if I zoom it in, I can zoom it in and out by holding Control on my keyboard and then zooming in with my mouse and out, or just use this plus and minus down here, okay? So let's say I want to modify this. Now here on the left, you have different stances of this very character inside the SPRUNKI game. So you have the idle 2, and then you have this kind of animation, anim 2, and then anim 3, 4, 5, 6, and then etc. Okay, you can also have some different animations you're likely familiar with. And then let's say you want to change one of these. Now the easiest thing you can do over here is, of course, to just kind of change some colors, and I'm going to show you how to do this. It's very simple. Once you have this, you can then move this all over the place. Now, as you can see, I can move this over here, this flower, let's say over here, and this one over here, here, and I can do whatever I want with this, essentially, okay? I can even change colors by simply clicking on the certain object, going to fill up here, and just changing the color to my preference, okay? I can change this one, and let's say I want to change this one to another color. Let's say I want to have blue, there we go. And let's say I want to have it so it's a bit wider, there we go. And I can also change that if I want to, and then just kind of replace it however you want, there we go. And then let's say these are all the modifications I want to do. You can also use this to kind of freely draw. As you can see, I just drew something. You can fill, you can make different lines up here. Let's say I'm going to make a few lines. There we go. And then once you're happy with your modification, you're set to go and to essentially use it inside your game. However, that's not the only thing you can do. You can also modify sounds. If we look up top over here, you can modify sounds. You click sounds over here, and then as you can see, you've got a few different options in here. So we have the shaky shaky. If I play it for you right now, as you can hear, it's essentially a sound from inside the game. You have this one, which is shaky shaky 2, and then you have the shaky, and then you have the shaky 2. There we go. Now, you can, of course, play with it as well, because as you can see, you can add in different moods or different mutes, fade-ins, fade-outs. You can play, or you can mute it at certain parts. You can make it slower, you can make it louder. You can even select it, as you can see. You can make it more robotic. You can delete certain parts. You can copy them, etc. You can basically do whatever you want. And if you play around with it for a few minutes, you'll be able to see that you have essentially a lot of things you can do in here in sounds, as well as inside these costumes and inside everything else, okay? So it's quite cool. As I said, if you're not really advanced, you likely will not deal with this code over here. However, you can deal with the costumes and the sounds, and you can modify this game yourself, and you'll be able to show your friends that you did this and you kind of made it custom, and they will likely think it's very cool, okay? Or you can even make it just for yourself to play it with that kind of mods. Now, when you're done, and when you're done modifying these sounds and these costumes in different things, so as you can see, you also have these icons, and then you can change, for example, this one, so whatever you want to, you can then use this to play it. And you actually don't have to export anything. You can simply just play it inside here. And the way you can do this is by clicking over here at this kind of expand icon at the top right. If you hover over it, it says full screen control. Now, you want to click this from wherever you are. And then if you actually click this green flag up here, you want to click go. And as you can see, we've got the game itself. And if I were to now open this green up, as you can see, it looks modified just like we made it, okay? Of course, now it lost the colors and the things we modified it by, because it started moving, because I only edited the idle stance, as you can see. But if I were to now make it yet again, as you can see, for a few seconds, it looks the way we made it. So if I were to, let's say, now go back, if I stop this, and if I were to now minimize it, and if I were to go to costumes, and let's say green yet again, and I want to go to, let's say, animation, and if I were to put in, for example, let's say I'm just gonna paint over it for a bit so I can just show you. Let's say I want to just do kind of a zipper over here, or just make kind of a lipstick. It looks quite bad, but still, I'll just show you how to do it. Then if I were to simply go in here again, play this, and if I were to put this on, as you can see, when it gets the animation, it starts looking like I customized it just for those seconds, because each and every single frame, of course, has its own animation, and you will have to animate all of these different animations manually. Okay, you can also copy different things in here, so you can Control-C and then Control-V. As you can see, you can go, let's say you want to select these two things, press Control-C on your keyboard, which will essentially copy, or you can just press copy up here, go to your animation 2, and then just press paste, and as you can see, it will just paste in whatever you've copied. Okay, so I actually misclicked earlier, but no problem. So that's pretty much it. That's all you can do in here. You can mod the game completely and make it according to your according to however you want to make it look. And yes, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please subscribe to the channel and help me out as well.